Hello, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to a Tuesday Live. I have a very special guest coming in to join me tonight. And so we're just doing, a sound test. And if you can see my button, you'll probably guess who's going to come in and talk to me tonight. And I'm so excited to meet this fishy. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited to meet her. This fish is a legend, a living, iconic legend. So I'm kind of nervous, actually. I'm kind of nervous about this one. I typically don't get nervous when I meet my mermaid guests, but I'm kind of nervous about this one because she's a pretty big deal in the mermaid community and just she's iconic. She's just iconic. Everyone loves her and her work. So I'm really excited to present her to you guys. So I'm going to grab her. There she is.
Yay, technology!
I am so excited you're here. Oh my goodness.
I'm so grateful to be here.
You're gonna have to give me a minute to fangirl, Che Monique. Hang on. 1 second. Hang on. I need to fan myself. Wait, I'm not ready.
You.
She's so gorgeous. Oh my god, I can't stop. Did you see my button? Do you see it? Can you see the button? I'm wearing my button.
Mermaid's button, that's awesome.
I'm wearing my button. So I know that you just got done an amazing interview with Mermaid Christian on his channel and with his co-host and everything. So thank you very much for taking your time to come in and speak to me. I'm so excited to meet you.
Here.
So
I
for
really,
those
really am.
who may not know you, okay, even though everyone literally knows you, if you don't know Che Monique, where are you living under a rock? But I want my beautiful fishy to introduce yourself, introduce what Mermaid Che Monique is all about. Like, what do you do? What's happening in the mermaid world of Che Monique?
So much. Shallow. So I'm Mermaid Che Monique. I am a mermaid model performer to just kind of spread messages to help us be better beings. And to remind us, that it's not always about us and that sometimes our perspective can shift how we navigate the world. I am the founder of the Society of Fat Mermaids. We are a size inclusive clothing line and community. And give us a follow here on TikTok as well. Our TikTok page is a baby page. I'm still growing it and kind of strategizing it. I laugh because our first video that I posted, I just posted it because it was a cool video and I thought like 1,200 people were going to see it, and then like 5 million people saw it, and then I was like, oh, now I'm responsible for this TikTok page, and I wasn't ready.
Yes.
Like I knew I wanted to be responsible for an additional TikTok page eventually, but I wasn't quite ready at that time. But Society of Fat Mermaids, we just exist to, in addition to having cute, size inclusive, mermaid themed apparel, none of which I'm wearing right now for some reason. Um, we're the home of the $15 6XL t shirt, but we carry things from small through 6XL. Our leggings come from like a 2X small to a 5XL. Um, we also try to just provide resources and information for plus size merfolk. And I also try to use our pages as a platform for other fat merfolk. I think that's everything about me. Oh, there's so much going on in the world of me. And I guess we can get into more of it throughout this interview. Because yeah, like if I tell you everything, then there's nothing to talk about.
Oh,
And
don't
here's
worry,
the thing
fishy. I
that,
have plenty. I have plenty to talk to you about. Don't worry. You just spew your guts. Don't worry about it. Like
okay.
just
Yes. Okay. Mermaid Mally is on it for me. Yes. I am in the pre-sale process of my 2022 calendar. So above me, you can see my
yes.
2021 calendar. Um, and the first orders will be shipping out next week. I am I love putting together calendars, like all the awesome things I've done throughout the year, and then we get to like celebrate them and enjoy them for the coming year. So one of the things I did this year was my NAUI Mermaid certification, my NAUI Mermaid Instructor certification. So something coming soon for me will be more training and helping other people in a more hands-on way, fins-on way with their mer journey. But I did that in the Florida Springs. And so for this 2022 calendar, we have like really awesome pictures in the spring. If you want to know what exactly is in the calendar, go ahead and check out my TikTok. Like all the pages of the calendar are have been posted pretty recently. So I'm super, super jazzed about that. So we've got discounted pricing. It's usually going to be $24. Right now it's $21.99, and it currently has free shipping. So grab
Woo!
that. And
Just in
then, so if
time
you're
for
doing any,
Fishmas! Just in
yes,
time
I
for
was gonna say, if
Fishmas,
you're doing
everybody!
any of the giveaways or anything like that, grab it there, or grab it for that. And then I have like a further discount if you buy two at a time. So you can get one for yourself, one for your Secret Santa, just in time for Fishmas, just in time to celebrate 2022 with me. Also coming down the pike, I'm in the planning phases of a couple different retreats. One, a more advanced mermaid swimming performance modeling retreat, and then another one that will be for anybody who feels like a mer at heart. It'll be a big, sexy beach retreat, which will have some mermaid themes, but it's just mostly like a fat kid beach party. And I'm sure I've got more happening. This is, I think, like my second time on live at TikTok, so that's new for me. So thank you for giving me
Oh,
reason to do that. And if anyone kind of who follows me is watching, it's a rare peek behind the scenes because when people interview me, I'm pretty like full disclosure, but on my page, I kind of present just as like this is my mer self and this is how I've always been and this is how I'll always be. So this is a rare peek
well,
behind the scenes,
thank
special
you
for
for
Mermaid
giving me the
Jacy.
honor of, coming into a little corner of your world because I have been following you and a fan of yours for many, many years now. And I actually wanted to talk about something that you mentioned earlier. You talked about, um, you know, mervation or merovation, like motivation, but for in a mermaid fantastical way.
Right.
One of the things that you posted, during the pandemic and the lockdowns and things was some self care motivation and self care realization, even for yourself or for your community and for your followers. Would you mind talking about how, why did you feel like you needed to post that? Was there a cry out from your community? Was it something you were going through personally? Were you recognizing a need for it? Like, what inspired you to present the self care aspect during the pandemic to others?
So all of that, I mean, it was just scary times and everybody was frazzled. And I'm constantly trying to better myself. And I'm at that point of my journey where right now it seems like the magic bullet is breath work and meditation. Now, the
Right?
thing with meditation is you have to sit still to do it. And I can do that sometimes, but not always. I'm working on it. However, on land, I work as a massage therapist. And so helping people chill out um, is kind of just what I do. And I, I mean, even if there weren't a pandemic, our society is so go 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 that like just telling people, encouraging people to take a minute and connect. But it was also just wanting to contribute in this weird thing where it's like the best thing you can do is stay away from people. And it's like, but I want to hug everybody, and everything's scary and nothing's consistent. And it's like, okay, what I can do is bring a little magic into your day. What I can do is encourage you to take a deep breath. And what I can do is like remind you to just be here now. And it's this like weird thing, but it's like if you're able to access my content, then I feel like you've got a few things you can like check off as things that are like worth being grateful for. You're alive, you've got access to the internet, and like the world could be crumbling around you, but like you've got a couple things going for you. And so it's like, okay, we're here, be here, let's connect, and let's just, take a minute. And even if it's just like 2 or 3 minutes of your day, like let's let those be chill and good and positive.
Isn't that just amazing how you were connecting it to your leg job, your human job, but also the fact that in your NAUI training, right? Because I have the Patty certification, so I know exactly what you're talking about, right? And then in free diving training, because a lot of our mer diving is married in with free diving, the ability to quiet your mind and your soul and your heart in order to is kind of at the center of that training. And I completely understand when you're saying that, you know, for your human job, you're able to provide a sort of relaxation environment. And so translating that and bringing that into the mermaid world is such a gift. And the fact that you know, presented with these, okay, guys, you know what? We're all in this together. And if I can make your day even a few minutes more magical and relaxing, I'm going to help you do that. Like, let's do that. And let me show you a few ways that maybe you can carry this magic throughout your day to give your mind a sense of peace. And I think that that is so wonderful and charming to have mermaids doing that for people, because that's kind of what we do, right? We sprinkle a little bit of mermaid magic throughout people's day. Adults, children, it doesn't matter. Like, we're going to sprinkle magic into your day.
Right.
So I wanted to ask you about your, so you spoke about your apparel line, which you said is a size inclusive in apparel line. You also have a delightful Che Monique paper doll up on your store. Did you want to talk about that? How did that start? What was your inspiration around your paper doll?
I don't know.
She's
And
so
I wish I
cute.
had everything around me. Um, I don't know. So I used to produce a burlesque troupe, Chocolate City Burlesque and Cabaret.
Oh
Was
my.
a youth movement. Yeah. Yeah. Also, yeah. Feel free to like tell me, you know, are we like PG 13?
Oh,
Where
honey,
are
no,
we? Should we be
it's after 8 p.m., darling. Go for it. If she's a
I
saucy
just
fish,
okay. I
don't
just need
worry.
to know because burlesque kind of influenced my journey into mermaiding.
Oh,
And when yeah, I'm I'm not a little kid's mermaid. I'm just not.
that's okay.
Um,
I want to hear about that. How did that? You can't just say that and then pass by it like you didn't just say what you just
I'm
said. You
answer
gotta
the
tell
original question,
me.
which
Okay.
was I had this amazing burlesque troupe with all
Yes.
these phenomenal performers, and I thought it would be so cool to have a paper doll, a book with like all the performers. And it just never came to be because it was a lot of little pieces to put together, and running this troupe was a lot of pieces to put together. But I guess that's kind of how the idea for paper doll kind of sat in my head. And so last year I was like, yeah, I want to be a paper doll. I mean, obviously, like I want to be. It's weird, and I feel like paper dolls, they're kind of retro and they take a lot of patience, and especially like to cut me out, right? Like you've got to get through all my curves, right? Like that's not a quick thing. And so even though it is kind of a kids thing, it also for me fell. Oh, this is some of our apparel because my paper doll has it. Um,
Oh, there they are.
and
Some
so
designs on there. It's gorgeous.
yeah, and so it also felt like a cool mindfulness thing, if that makes sense. Because
Yeah.
honestly, if you sat here, even though this is a small little book, if you sat there and cut out all of these little pieces, it takes me like an hour and a half, 2 hours. And so it's kind of like in this time, because I did this last year when like everything we're doing is tech based, and it's like this is how we're connecting now, and it's like screens, and it's like go, except then it's weird because like you're like popping in from this zoom to that zoom, and so you're like never moving but you're constantly on the go. So it also, in addition to just being something fun and cute and like a step in the direction of, you know, maybe mass producing a doll version of me in the more traditional sense, that also felt like a mindfulness activity that people could do. And so, yeah, that's the Mermaid Che Monique
So
paper doll.
it's kind of like a slow, like almost like those adult coloring books. You mean like
Yeah,
it's sort of like a retro kids thing that maybe we grew up with as small kids, but the idea of having to cut something out and be mindful when you're doing it just to slow your brain down sort of inspired you to create this.
exactly.
I think it's so cute. Oh my gosh, when I saw it, I was like, "Oh my gosh, how fun is that?" You can make her glamorous, you can make her fishy, you can make her sporty fishy. She's so cute. And you also, so I'm going to go back to the how. did the burlesque wonderfulness of that charming name. You said something about chocolate. What was the name of your group?
Chocolate City Burlesque and Cabaret, because I'm
Chocolate City
based in the
Burlesque and
DC area,
Cabaret.
and DC is one of a handful of cities that are known as Chocolate City. So we were CCBC, Chocolate City Burlesque and Cabaret.
That name is just, it sort of adds to the deliciousness of what you're doing, doesn't it? I heard it and I went, oh, yum. So how did that side of the performance to yourself lead to mermaiding? Like, what was the sort of connection there that you made?
I mean, so like it wasn't a direct connection, but when I wanted to do my first underwater photo shoot, I was just thinking it was like a cool thing I would do, another fun burlesque act I could do. Like I wasn't really thinking that mermaiding was going to be my world and my life. Like I thought
Mm,
that mermaiding could be just another venue to explore sensual movement and kind of like pin-up-y photography. So yeah. So yeah, it just seemed like another cool thing to do in that venue. Or vein. In that vein. That's the word I'm looking for. Vein.
that's really it, because you were when you were talking about, your calendar and how I read one of your posts about how like you were working with these wonderful photographers and getting your favorite shots. And so sort of the marriage between underwater, body positivity and the sensualness of the female form sort of led you into the mermaiding world as well,
Yeah.
like breath holding and costumes and underwater and all that wonderfulness.
I mean, I don't even think I really thought about breath. Well, I fell into the mermaid world. I mean,
Same.
there's so many different origin stories. You know, there's the I've wanted to be a mermaid since I was 3 or 4. Like as long as I've known what a mermaid was, I've wanted to be one. You know, I was about 3 or 4 when The Little Mermaid came out, and it was my favorite movie until I was 9. And you know, I was a water baby. My mother wrote on legal pads a novel sitting on the edge of the pool while my brother and I were like swimming along when we were toddlers. Like I have no recollection of not being able to swim. Um, and I definitely, like many of us, would swim with my legs together and dream of being a mermaid. And then, you know, you get older and you start doing what your parents tell you and you get ready to go to law school or something. And, you know, you kind of forget about that. In my 20s, I revisited the idea um, with another burlesque troupe. The DC Girly Show was in the Capitol Pride Parade, and the theme one year, about 12 years ago, was "What's your fantasy?" And usually for Pride, when they would come up with a theme, I'd be like, I don't know what I'm going to do with this theme. Like, a lot of things that are like popular themes just don't appeal to me. It'll be like
Mm.
superheroes and like pirates and like, I don't know, like none, it just wouldn't appeal. And then it was like, what's your fantasy? And I'm like, mermaid, I want to be a mermaid. And so that year for the parade, I made a very crude walking tale and, you know, walked that parade route feeling like the queen of the world. And after that, I was like, I want to be a mermaid more. And I would go down the internet rabbit hole. And like, it's so amazing because the internet gets like phenomenally better like every year. And so when I first started doing mermaid research on the internet didn't even work as well, let alone like there just weren't as many merfolk, there weren't as many tail makers, like that stuff wasn't there, but also just the internet was not as accessible. And it was like, oh, you could get a silicone tail for more than you make in a month. And that's that. And I'm like, okay. And it sat on the back burner for a while again. And then Society of Fat Mermaids, really, I was like, I really just wanted to make cute t-shirts with mermaids on them. Like I wasn't planning on being a mermaid. And I knew as I started using the page more and more to promote other fat merfolk that like, you know, we were going to be a community and I wanted to be a part of the community. So I really thought I was going to mermaid casually. And there's a picture I took that kind of changed the trajectory of my mer history, I guess. And I took it with a burlesque friend, and it was more, you know, like sexy pinup style. And the way people responded to that picture made me realize that like I needed to do this more. Like um the comments on the picture just made me realize that like I provide a type of representation that's um lacking. So all of those things kind of came together. And
Yeah,
here I am.
you were just living your best mermaid life, and all of a sudden you stumbled into the, hey, wait a minute, people kind of need me. Like Che
Yeah,
Monique, I am needed and I am here to provide for your
yeah,
entertaining purposes. Because
yeah.
I
I
just,
always say that you gotta get. Go ahead.
well, I love the I didn't know personally about your burlesque journey, but some of my favorite photos of yours are those like ones like where there are a couple of them in your new calendar in your 2022 calendar that's coming out, where you're stretched out on the beach and you have that iconic red lip and it just screamed burlesque at me and I was like, that is such a beautiful photo. The contrasting colors and the wave that is coming up. I'm sure you know the one I'm talking about when you're outstretched and your gorgeous tail is out and you caught that moment when the wave is coming up and I was like, "Oh my gosh, that is a forever photograph." Like forever photograph that the environment has to be just right and the sun is just like glowing off of you. Oh my gosh, it's such a beautiful photo. Um do you currently run the Society of Fat Mermaids by yourself? Or do you have other mermaids that you rely on to help you running it? Because it's grown so much and there's like so many people interested in what you're doing and your message. Do you have help that you rely on, or is Mermaid Che Monique doing it all by herself?
Somehow both. So like I do have help. Like Grace, Pegasus Springs Muses.
Yes.
Like I don't know what I would do without Grace. Do not know what I would do without Grace. But I have been in that weird creative cycle, admittedly, where I am a little controlling. I know I need to delegate, but I need to stop long enough to figure out how best to delegate. We haven't quite gotten there. So like our Facebook group, Society of Fat Mermaids, Let's Connect, has a great moderator and admin team, but also, again, the group has been growing so much. I know I probably need to expand that. I've been thinking more and more about like different types of roles. I think so when people want to hear things that are coming up, I think it's time for us to have our own ambassadors. So that'll be, something that will hopefully be happening in 2022 because I not only can I not be the face of everything we do, like I don't want to be. Like as Mermaid Che Monique, I have enough going on and I'm very like proud of this space, but like I do want it to not look like the Society of Che. Like I do want the face of Society of Fat Mermaids to be more diverse and more inclusive and whatnot. So yeah, so I could not. And then there's the things where it's like, it's time to go show up at a convention in Bend, and one of my friends will step up and help with that, and kind of learn the spiel and put on the clothes and do the thing. And there's the time where it's like, my mom gets tapped in or my husband gets tapped in, and so like nothing is. It's weird when you're like a solopreneur because like I don't think anybody can do anything on their own. Like it just doesn't make sense. Like I could not do anything completely reliant on me. I mean, even getting dressed tonight, I was FaceTiming well, I don't have an iPhone. So I was on Google Duo with my niece, and she's like, okay, put this in your hair. And I think you need earrings as
Oh,
big as your face. And I'm like, I don't think oh, I do have earrings as big as my face. Um,
of course you
and
do.
so
Of course.
they were just gifted from another friend. And so, like, not
They're
only do I own
beautiful.
them, but another friend made them for me. But my niece is the person who said, "Put on earrings as big as your face." Like, let me watch you do your makeup. And so, yeah, it's just me. And like, of course not. It can't be all at the same time, if that makes sense.
But I think that that's wonderful that you're I kind of call them like when it's a female run business, right? I kind of call them a queendom, right? Like you're running a queendom, like you're the head, right? You're our queen. All hail Shea Monique. But at the same time, having a court of lovely people that you trust to carry out your message of inclusiveness, of your message of, body positivity and relaxation. Because that I think I understand you when you said before that like, ooh, you're having trouble like letting go of some reins or like like you're learning how to. And I don't want to put words in your mouth, but for me when I heard that it went, I think that could be like you have to trust other people to carry out your message and to hold it because it's so dear. It's so dear, right? When you create something that's really important to you, it's like your baby, and you maybe don't want to always hand it to other people who now it's in their hands, and now they're responsible for an image that they put out or something that they say, or because that could be a little bit scary. Um, but I've seen some of the amazing other plus size mermaids that you've had the opportunity to, have in your circle of friends or swim with, especially with the have you performed with the Siren Circus Pod? I thought
Circus
I've
Siren
seen
Pod.
you in there.
I
Yeah,
trained with them, and I am always like first in line to sign up when they have their tank time.
that's right.
So
Yeah, because I've seen some beautiful photos of you in their tanks, and I thought, I was she a performer with them, or is it so you just utilize their like tank space at this
yeah,
time? Are you
so in the
interested in
summer,
maybe performing with someone like that?
that would be amazing. That would be really, really fantastic. It was really cool to go see their new big tank at the Pennsylvania Renaissance Fair. We had like a very small Society of Fat Mermaids meetup, but it was cool because it was like our first like official, we're gonna go do a thing as an organization. And we went to the Pennsylvania Renaissance Fair to see Mermaid Certification, and because she was swimming with them, and it was so cool. And it was such a fun setup, and it was really nice to sit in the audience and just be able to like fangirl another mermaid. And like one of the things that I love about mermaiding is it's like the more into it I get, the more amazed by it I am. Like you think when you know how the sausage is made that you're like, ugh, they just ground up a, whatever to make this sausage. But there's something about mermaiding where it's like the more I know about it, the more I'm just amazed by like all our talented merbros and sea stars out there, and also like our non-binary, which there are a lot of non-binary merfolk, so I definitely do not want to exclude them in between. It was such a cool experience. um, and yeah, I mean, mergles, right?
I adore so like every time I completely understand what you're saying when you say that you're amazed by other people, because every time that another mermaid has sick or another merfolk, we're not all mermaid merfolk, has success, it lifts the whole community up to a higher standard, right? So, recently, the Guardian of the Springs became a representative for an NFL team. Like, that's crazy that they have a mermaid mascot, an NFL team. I was like, yes, fishy, like, go for it. And then everybody getting further training and further experience to better their underwater performances. Like, we actually legitimately have merfolk that are acting underwater while holding their breath. It's That's incredible to me. Not only with like the lip syncing and like lip sync to songs, but literally acting between them and a human on the other side of the glass, like with their facial expressions, and maybe they have a prop. And I'm like, this is theater. Like you've actually taken theater and put it underwater. And I that is a huge fangirl moment for me. I'm in total awe of these people. I'm sure it must have been quite an experience to go and see the whole tank that the Siren Pod had put permanently there, because again, that's another huge milestone for us in the community to have a permanent fixture. What else did you guys do when you guys were at the fair? Did you you had like a little semi meetup there. What other things did the Society of Fat Mermaids do? Did you peruse? Did you go shopping? Did you eat some delicious
Well,
treats? Tell me.
oh my gosh, we had the best kettle corn ever. It was a cold, rainy day. Uh,
Oh, that sucks.
the I know the silver lining was because like we kind of had like plan A things we were gonna wear, and then like plan B things we were gonna wear, and it was like, oh, if it gets bad, we'll run back to the car. But like the run of that festival is huge, and so there is
Mhm.
no like run back to the car. I mean, yes, technically you can go back to your car, but like you're gonna like walk a mile and a half back to the car. Like it's just not a thing. And so the best thing that happened to us is as soon as we parked and we're like trying to figure out like what our layers were, um, it started raining. And I'm so glad it did, because I was gonna be like bopping around in like a cute little Society of Fat Mermaids tank top. I don't have Renaissance fair clothes. And so I was just trying to be like, I don't know, fun, colorful, and Society of Fat Mermaids. And I'm so grateful it started raining, because then I put on like all these layers and I was ready to weather the storm. Then the Circus Siren Pod area, it's so in addition to the fact that there's a tank, there's like it's like a pavilion. So it's got a roof over the viewing area. And so I
Oh,
think that the
nice.
rain is really good for them, because people want to like first first you just want to get out the rain, and then it's like, oh, cool mermaids, this is amazing.
Oh, it's
And
like a double. It's like a treat. Like a treat as you're trying
yeah,
to escape the
yeah,
wet.
right. Like there's some people who are like intentionally there to see CSP, and there's other people who are just like, this is the dry spot. I'm coming to the dry spot. And so it was like very busy over there. And we sat for probably a couple hours and watched like a few rounds of like all the different folks performing. And then we just walked the fair. I trying to be fiscally conservative, so I didn't buy anything other than food.
Mm.
I walked around with Pegasus Springs Muses. She was like really into like the amber shop, and there's a raven, I think. There's some sort of large bird that if you pay him $5, he'll like or more, he'll like take the tip out of your hand and like put it in a box. Like it's
Oh,
just
that's
really
fun.
cool. Yeah, he just automatically like grab this in the box. That was neat. It's a really very large fairgrounds. I would love to do it when it's not quite raining and maybe earlier in the season when it's a little warmer. That's not like double-edged sword too, because like you don't want to be hot while you're there, but it was really cool. And similarly, I guess this particular Renaissance fair has permanent installations, which a lot don't, which
Mm.
means that like some like not just CSP's place is cool, but like a lot of the setups, like somebody's got it looks like a little like gnome house. You know how you find like a little fairy house at the base of a tree? It was like
Yes.
that, but like human size. And it like they had like
Oh,
moss and everything growing over it. And it was like just really, really neat. And it looks like it's been growing for, years. And it was just really cool.
they have these like not sort of Renaissance fair related, but there's one of them in Quebec, which is a neighboring province to me, and then one I think in Virginia, and they're sort of permanent like LARPing villages, like the people that
Okay.
that
Yeah.
like to enter into that medieval mind space and like dress and live, and people can permanently buy land there and have your own specific cottage built on that property with like modern, right, like modern sort of treats. Like obviously it's going to have insulation, it's going to have plumbing, it's going to have things we didn't have in medieval era obviously, but uh people live there during like the summer months or the fall months or whatever, so it's almost like a cottage village. And
Neat.
so when you're telling me about these homes, I'm like, oh yeah, I know exactly what those are. So I some of them can be like art pieces where it's sort of like a regular building, but they've like installed these like wonderful sort of faux things on the front. But the ones that are in Quebec are sort of purposely designed by fantasy architects to look like hobbit homes. And you walk into it and it's an actual like legitimate hobbit home with plumbing. It's kind of fun. Um, I wanted to ask you about your favorite thing that Mermaid Che Monique did in 2021. Like your favorite performance, your favorite appearance, your favorite photographer. What were your favorite things looking back through the year that you can say, "Oh yeah, this is on my like top 5 favorite things." Maybe not
Okay.
one
Five.
because there's so many.
Five.
Yeah, 5.
Okay. First, I'm going back to the previous topic because when I went to Petra, I stayed in Jordan. We stayed at this resort that was like they took a literal Stone Age village and turned it into a hotel resort. And so
How
like it was
cool.
like staying in like a flint, like we were staying in like cave homes. And I don't know how they plumbed them. And like honestly, like there would be like water on the floor. Like, but it's like it was a Stone Age, like it was a cave home. Like it was the coolest thing. Okay, top 5 things
Magic.
doing the
Just magic.
it was really really neat. It was like it was weird because it's like it was rustic and like they claimed it was like 4 star and I'm like I guess like it's not that
To a
nice
caveman. Yes, to a caveman.
but
It's sort of
right exactly but it was just so cool like it was really neat. And then you like go to Petra and then you like see these like other like, magical like stone dwellings and cave dwellings and it was very cool. Okay, definitely going to Florida to do the Nowie Mermaid certification. I trained alongside a lot of the Circus Siren Pod, trained with Lila Jones. That was cool. And then like it's kind of the same experience, but that's where I got to like swim in the springs for the first time. And that just so cool, so magical, so beautiful. All you Florida fishies, I'm high key jealous. I hope you understand. how lucky you are. It like very cool, very cool. Similarly, a couple weeks ago when I filmed my skeleton videos, I went on a like kind of
I
spontaneous road
saw
trip
those.
with
Those were so cute. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but oh my gosh, those were so cute. Like I was like laughing because he had no head. I was like, okay, Mermaid Che Monique, like you're dancing around. What happened? Where's the backstory? What happened to that man's head? Did you eat it? Did you eat the head? Be honest. Like what happened to it? Did another mermaid eat it?
maybe, maybe, maybe.
Maybe.
So yeah,
Snacking
I
on
just
heads.
like randomly went to Lake Phoenix with the mermaid seamstress, and it's October and it should be freezing, but it's warm and like nobody else is at this lake, and we have the whole thing to ourselves. And then they find
Gorgeous.
this skeleton at the bottom of the lake, and it's like,
Wait a minute. They hold
okay,
on. They found it? Well, you guys didn't bring it. They found it there.
you did not bring the skeleton to the lake. They found the
Well,
skeleton on the
Felicia with fins is in here. Felicia, did you drop your skeleton in the lake? Lake Phoenix is awesome, she says. Did you drop your skeleton in the lakes, Felicia? Because I want to know which fishy did it. Because I guarantee you, Che Monique, it was a fishy that did it for photos, and they dropped it and couldn't go get it. So I want to know the tea. Don't tell anyone, she says. Such a
So
funny.
that was really, really cool. I basically everything is awesome, right? So then, what else? The California Mermaid Convention. I'd
Mm.
never been. It was 113 degrees. It
Oh,
was very, very hot. A little warm and incredibly hot. Um, but it was just, I don't know. It felt like I made it. Like so many folks who are part of SOFM are on the West Coast, and you interact with them
yeah.
online like this, and it was just really cool to like meet these folks IRL, and they had an after party that was just a lot of fun. And really it was the after party that was just like, because when I go to a convention, like it's good to see folks, it's good to do the things, but like it's a lot of work. And like
Mm-hmm.
the after party was small enough that I didn't feel like I had to be on, and you
Mm.
could just really hang out, and that was very cool. It was just like it was like amazing to do all the things and meet the people and do the stuff and blah blah blah. We stayed at this like really really cute Airbnb, and like the owner of the Airbnb was like the sweetest lady, but that after party was phenomenal. Where am I? So we've gone Florida, Lake Phoenix. Oh my gosh, I'm almost out of five fingers. California
Do you need
Mermaid
to?
Convention, and
Do
then of
you need to
course
add
Mermaid
more?
of course, Mermagicon, which like that felt like both a breath because it just, like they kept having to push it back and push it back and push it back. And it was like,
Yeah.
we're here, we're doing it. It was ridiculous because the people who attend are just a blast. And um, it's kind of where like I kind of did finished up some of my like Nowie training while I was there. I was like observing and assisting with the trainings they were doing there, and Mermagicon is like always a whirlwind, like always. But we had like an SOFM Fat Mermaids Make Waves panel there, which was like amazing, and I'm hoping to bring it back to this next Mermagicon. And my whole family came to support me, which was like super sweet. It was
Oh,
just like so much going on. Like everybody was so cool because they were doing the Miss Mermaid USA pageant. Like everybody,
yes.
there's like mixed
Our
opinions about the
winner's in
pageant.
here on my
Yeah, I
side.
know. Like, I know. Miss Mermaid
Miss Mermaid
America.
America is currently in the live right now talking to me on my
Yeah.
side, and I'm kind of again, you guys are overwhelming me with too many famous fish. You guys need to calm down, okay? I'm gonna faint. I'm actually gonna faint. You guys need to relax on my little mermaid Canadian heart, please. Thank you. Hang on.
But it was like so
Okay.
cool. But like, you're in and out of like the pool, you're in and out of the dressing room, and then it's like beauty queen. And like, who doesn't
Beauty
love to see
queens.
beauty queen? So, it's just like everywhere you turn, there's like fish in formal wear and crowns, and like that was it was just like this amazing extra added element, which is like really 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 cool. And the hotel it was at had a pool in the courtyard, and so you could just always kind of like hang out around the pool in the courtyard. So it was a lot of like, official things going on and then unofficial things going on. They had like randomly like a really, really, really good Indian restaurant there. Like just,
Oh, tell
you know,
me. Tell me. Yes? Tell me.
So good.
Did you go?
And I'm vegan. Yeah. So like, I don't even remember what I ate, but it was delicious. I went there twice over the course of the weekend. But like, especially the vegan, like I'm like, we're staying at this motel in Manassas, Virginia, and like they call Manassas Manassas. Like there's nothing there other than Mermagicon. Mermagicon's the only thing to go to Manassas for. Um, it's just there's nothing there. It's like I don't even know if it counts as a suburb of DC. It's so far out. Like it's just nothing there. But so I'm thinking of staying at this little hotel in Manassas. There's going to be like a basic American restaurant with hamburgers, mediocre fries, like just not a lot of options. And then it was like this amazing Indian restaurant, and it was just like what? It was just like a surprise. Like nobody planned it. Like nobody put an Indian restaurant there for me, but it was such a treat. Such a treat.
Did you did you eat the did you eat the style of Indian food where like you get like the pita and then like you have to use like they don't even have utensils that they use for their food. They just eat it like with the pita. Did you eat that kind? I think it's specifically South Indian food is eaten like that.
We did have we had roti and naan, but we also had utensils.
Oh, you also had
Um,
utensils. Yep. Oh, okay. Next time you got to challenge yourself and be like, I refuse to use a spoon.
I
I
can
shall
do it. I
use.
love Ethiopian food, and I don't even think Ethiopian restaurants have silverware if you ask them for it.
Yeah, it's very
And
very
so
similar, eh? Like with the naan bread and the oh my gosh, so amazing, so amazing. It's a different. As soon as I heard the phrase Indian restaurant, because I live in an extremely diverse part of Canada. I'm part of the GTA. I'm in the northern part of the GTA, and we have
what is
an
the
like
GTA?
so what we call the GTA is like the Greater Toronto area. So like there's Toronto, and then there's like 7 or 8 cities that border Toronto that are then married into one that we call the Greater Toronto Area. And that's where I am. I'm sort of in the northern part of that cluster. And in my town specifically, we have a very large Southeast Asian population here. And so you can walk down the street and go to an authentic, and I mean authentic, Mexican restaurant, Vietnamese restaurant, um, Southeast Asian restaurant. You can like run by people who have come here from those countries. They're cooking their grandmother's food, and there's and like some of the people in the back, most of them don't even speak English. Like I'm like, yes, please. I'm like, serve me your food. Like I love these places, and I really enjoy where I am because I just absorb other people's languages and cultures, and I'm looking around at all the colors, and I'm like, oh man, when I got married I wore white. That was really boring. You guys were red. I want to hear more about that. Like I'm just in love with looking at other people's colors and their music and their food, and I just love where I live so much because like me and my salt self, I kind of just walk around and I'm like, yes, show me all your colors and all your amazingness. I want to learn. um so as soon as I heard the words Indian restaurant, I was like, no, oh my gosh, tell me more. So when you went to Mermagicon specifically, you were talking about like the little courtyard with the pool. I kind of laugh at myself because when we're immersed in our own little mermaid magicalness with all of our mermaid friends, I like to think of what other people that are not into looking at okay, you just giggle. You have to know what I'm about to say. What do you think other people are looking at when they're looking at us? A lot
Well,
of
it depends.
us.
So, like at this particular hotel, it was a lot of construction workers were staying there, and so
Oh,
as you can imagine,
no, wait a minute. Oh my God. Oh my heart. Okay. Did you get faces? Did you get asked for a photograph? Did something happen? You have to tell me. Or did nothing
like
happen? I don't know. I
nothing
could be
happened. It was like I mean, if you can think of like stereotypically walking by a construction site as, a like large group of women and like,
yeah.
there are mers of all genders, but there are many more mermaids.
Mhm.
As a large group of women in August, walking around in bikini tops and like, you just feel the like hubba hubba. Like I don't think anything in particular actually happened, but like And because they're doing like construction, like these folks are there on like long jobs. And so they like made themselves at home at the hotel. And so a lot of them would like pull their chairs out of their room. And I don't think they were doing it because we were there. I think that's just what they do. And they'd like hang
Ah,
out and kind of look down at the pool and, you know, have their cigarettes and whatever. And so it was kind of like, it was kind of weird. Um, Usually, I think people like when I, especially like in the DC area, if I'm just like filming by the river or like filming someplace random, people just get excited. It'll be like cute. There's one video I have where you can like see this person like jog by, like it is like weird because they hesitated and then they're like, ah, never mind, I'm gonna just keep jogging through the shot. Who cares? Like,
just
and so there's the
it,
combination of the people who are just like, that's really neat, and then there's the people who are just like, what's going on? And then there's the people who are just like so in their world, they're like, I'm not stopping my jog for this. So
I'm not, I completely understand that because I just did a
my
live
friend who
yes.
made the earrings just came on.
Did
Uh,
she? Okay, so let's talk about the earrings then. If she's in here, we got to talk about her earrings. Let's
okay,
promote. Please
promote
do.
the fuller
Promote.
side of things. My friend Mimi is amazing. Like, I don't know
Hello,
if she
Mimi.
knows how much I admire her. And she's like a plus size influencer and model based here in DC. And she recently started a new line called Roots of Fatima. She and her sisters, like, much like, you know, when you asked me, like, you know, is there anybody else? Like, she seems to be a solopreneur who is super, super supported by her family. Like, it's so cute. Like, and I met her because I believe that this was like technically her sister produced this web series called Fat Girl City. She was in it, and we met at an event that we were both like promoting things, and I've been like following and fangirling like both of them. But it's like so cool because you go to any of their events and their whole family's there, and it's just
Oh,
like almost
I
more
love
than like whatever the event is. She teaches networking because she's someone I believe she didn't do I don't think she went to college or like have like a lot of like formal business training, and she just learned how to what she calls network your ass off. And so
that.
now she teaches other folks how to network their ass off. And you know, and so it's like I'm at a networking convention and her whole family's there. Her uncle's running security and her like mom is in the back doing this. And it just like always makes me happy to see that amount of love. But yeah, so her newest venture is Roots of Fatima, and she does like really, really cool, like super, super dramatic earrings. She makes like really cool fascinators and like necklaces, just like really dramatic, bold accessories. And
They're
the
not for basic fishies, that's for sure. They
not
are for
basic fishy
drama
at all.
fishies.
And
No,
so when my
bring the
niece
drama.
said tonight, put on earrings as big as your face, I was like, I do have a pair, and here they are. And so I'm
They're
so happy
so
that she pulled up
beautiful.
on the water to see them.
They're so beautiful. Are they for land fishies only? Are they for water fishies? Like how do
These
we
are
use them? Do you
definitely
know?
land earrings.
Land.
Yeah, and they're kind of heavy. Not heavy, but they're like I don't know, like the way they sit on my shoulders. I'm not gonna be like dancing my butt off in these. These are like actually they're perfect for like sitting on alive. Like these are like perfect for this. Like it's a good frame for them, and yeah. And this is what we do most of the time these days. So absolutely perfect.
I mean, there's a lot of there is a fair amount of mermaid work, paid events where like you yourself as the mermaid are a centerpiece. And like you don't even have to talk to people, you just be. You're just being. Those earrings would be perfect for just being. Just be gorgeous
Yeah.
and have people look at you. Okay, I will. Yeah, that's what those earrings are for. They're for the yes, I'm going to bring the under the sea drama because I love them. I think they're gorgeous. They're very, very beautiful. Because
Oh my
so
god.
I want to. Who's
Oh,
in
go
there?
on.
Who's in there? Tell me. No, no, no. Tell
Oh
me,
no, she
darling. Who
just
is it?
said, "Don't worry, I've been working on something special for you to enjoy in the water." So I'm like, "Ooh."
Oh, an underwater line. Oh, we love it. Thank you. Thank you. We love it. But I wanted to we were talking about people like sort of being amazed or awkward or strange around us when we're in public doing art because like let's admit a lot of us fishies do a lot of our dress up in public because we want to get the beautiful backdrop, we want to get the scenery, we want to get the this, you know, content as we say like in the funny world, we're like my followers want content, so we go out to create the content. Yesterday I did a live with fins and I had a couple little girls on the beach, and like their dads were kind of like singing, like their daughters weren't even in the picture, and like the dads like had their phones out like this, and they were like that, and I'm like, okay, like you can just like I'm a mermaid on a rock. Of course you're gonna take pictures of me. I'm not gonna. Hey, what are you doing over there? Stop taking pictures of me. Like that's never gonna happen from me. And then I had a couple teenagers come and do the same thing. Like they were like sneaky, like thought they were being cool, thought that I can see you. Like I can see you, see me, see you. You could just take pictures. And then I had an older gentleman that was like picking up garbage, but like picking up garbage like this.
That's great.
Like I was like I again like hi, but I do love the public's reaction a little bit to mermaiding, and I also love when you're in a public pool and you're sort of doing your thing. I love the questions from the public. I haven't gotten anyone snarky or nasty, but like mostly I get women asking me, "What is that? How do I do that? How did you start doing that? What equipment do you need?" Like I get a lot of interest from other women on how uh to do this. I don't know if you've experienced something similar in regards to actually I don't know if you do your mermaiding in a public pool. Do you do your mermaiding in a public pool?
Sometimes
Mermaid Che
I do.
Monique?
And
Yeah.
I tend to go, ha ha ha, oh my gosh. So my building has a pool, and the last time I was in there, I didn't get in it as much as I thought I would this summer. I don't know what I was doing all summer. Traveling. Uh,
Yes.
and I like literally pushed the pool open an extra week, and I was so grateful. And I was like, fish. If they're keeping this pool open an extra week, you were getting in there on the final weekend. And this older man who lives in my building, he's got to be in his 70s. He's completely in love with me now, like 100% in love with me now. He
Oh.
like wrote his like phone number down on a paper towel, and he's like, please call me, like, or whatever. It was
Oh.
just very strange, like, and I thought, like, I'm so naive, like, I don't know how I've managed to get this old and be this naive. And so like he asked me to text them, like, it's like, you want information about, you know, mermaid stuff, I'll tell you. So I gave him like basic information, told him where he could follow me. And he would like text me like every day for a couple days, like, how are you? I'm just in love with you. You're so beautiful. You're so this. And I'm like, oh dear, why did I do that? I know better
Oh,
than
what
that.
have you
I'm kidding.
done? What have you
Uh,
done?
but when I go to the indoor pool, because it's that time of year now, I try to go when there's not a lot of people, because
Mm.
I don't want legs in my shots, basically.
Oh, I hear you.
um, it's always so funny, you've got and then there's like just somebody behind you with like legs dangling.
Like
Um,
random treading water like this.
yeah,
You're
always,
like,
always,
move,
always.
bro. Like move out the way.
And so, and I'm in the, dive well. And so it's like usually people who are doing like deep water walking, like, like,
Mm.
so it's often like older people, and they're like, what's going on over there? And they're generally pretty chill, but curious. And it's always like, they give me the, if I were younger, and I'm like, you could do it. Like, you don't have to be younger. Um, and we're supposed to be bringing classes to our local pool. So
Oh,
hopefully, um, and so that's what I tell them. I'm like, pay attention to the catalog. Like, there's going to be classes. So
are you thinking of offering your classes for like sort of changing the program to be like age inclusive as well, like maybe for like younger people or like people in this certain age, and like maybe like a mermaid sort of aquafit course for like older mers that don't really want the sports exertion to their body, but they still want to do it kind of
right.
thing?
Right. So my friend, and one of my mentors, Colleen, she used to teach a Fin Fitness course there. And
Mm.
then, like, right as Fin Fitness kind of got underway, COVID happened. And so, and then
Mm.
ironically, I moved walking distance from that pool. And so she was like, you should pick this up. And I said, okay, I think I need to work on my core strength. So at least initially, I'll be picking up her class, which is more of a fin fitness, like, here's how swim in this tail. And then here's, fun mermaid tricks that are also tricking your body into growing muscles. Um, is at least where it'll start out. And then depending, I guess, on how it goes, I might kind of do more of my own thing. But initially I'll be kind of for that, I'll be picking up her class basically.
And is that our mermaid journey heading into the new year? Do you think like that's going to be something that you're gonna
Yeah, I think
pursue
we'll
as
probably
well?
happen in the spring. Yeah.
Oh,
Um, yeah, that will probably be a spring thing.
but so we're gonna start to wrap up our live now because we've been live now for an hour, my lovely, and I
Oh,
really don't want to take up any more of your precious time, but I want to go over more things for people that are in here because Fishmas is coming, you know, shipping is getting crazy, and you have some amazing products that need to go into people's homes, into people's stockings, and under trees or tables or whatever we celebrate with, right? So we have
it's
an
always
apparel line.
spring. Yes,
Exactly.
we have an
Exactly.
apparel line.
We have an apparel line for the Society of Fat Mermaids. It's an inclusive line. Can you tell me your sizes again? What's your range?
So we've got t-shirts, unisex t-shirts from small to 6XL. We do have like women's fit shirts that start at a extra small through at least a 3X, depending on the cut of the shirt. And then we have leggings from extra, extra small through 5XL. We have some mini dresses. We have a new scale design. I'm so excited. This in my hand is
Oh,
a bandeau top. And like this bandeau top is like, it really looks stupid on the website, but it is so comfortable. It's like my favorite thing to wear. And
and that
Abby
goes
Tails,
round like this, right?
yep,
It's like a,
yep, yep. And Abby Tails designed these scales for us. And so currently we have
oh,
these in our leggings. We have them in like, we have purple, pink, blue, and green. And then we also have flesh tones. We have 7 different flesh tones from very pale to pretty dark. And you can also get like a legging that starts out like, let's say for me, brown on the top and then ombres with brown scales and then ombres into like a purple. So I'm really excited about all our new scale offerings. And we also have it in mini dresses, which is like, if you want to be like
oh.
really sexy at a holiday cocktail party, get a flesh tone mermaid scale mini dress and order it now because shipping is weird these days.
Yes,
Um,
yes, please. Order your things now. And we have the wonderful calendar coming out as well.
yes.
Or
So calendar,
it has it hit yet? I'm sorry, I didn't know if it had hit yet.
it's live on the site and it will start shipping out next week. And so they are literally en route to me. So this is the 2021 calendar, but the 2022 calendar, similar concept. Me for 12
Yeah.
months.
Yeah.
And you can get
Lots of
that.
me for 12 months. You're so
Yes.
funny. Oh my God.
It's a 12 by 12 calendar, or 12 by 24 when it's open. And yeah, if you order it now, you'll get free shipping. You can check the link in my bio to grab that. The little paper doll is, she's a bargain. She's $8.95 and she will keep you
And
entertained.
she's adorable. And she will keep a small child or an adult entertained for over an hour, as Che Monique was
Yes.
saying, because that's how long it takes you to cut the stuff out.
And this last page is thick, so she will stand up on her little stand, and you can dress her up. And she's got quite a lot of tops with a fair amount of cleavage. Don't cut the cleavage out because it like adds structural integrity to the tops. Um, Pro tip.
Also, and you know, it's beautiful. We don't cut the cleavage
Also
out.
that.
It's gorgeous.
Also
She's a
that.
beautiful fish.
So yeah, and then our t-shirts, like we have our basic shirts are just $15 because I really, everything on the site isn't at that price point, but I do think that, you know, being accessible in different ways is important. And so particularly offering a 6XL shirt at $15 just makes me feel warm and fuzzy because the larger you get, the more expensive everything
Mm.
is. So
Or
yeah.
unfortunately, you'll go to a shop that will say, yeah, okay, we offer these sizes and the top is $15. And then you go to click on your size and it says, oh, extra material is going to be another $10. And you're like, so my top is now $25? Right? Because
Right,
I see
right.
that happen a lot. It happens a
Yeah.
lot to a lot of different MERS,
Honestly,
and it doesn't need to.
all of our systems and like from all the uh like wholesalers we work with, like it defaults that way. So you have to kind of go out of your way. That being said, if you ever do go on our site and like you find that something costs more, it's because I just missed that when I was changing it. So like give us a note, I'll fix it. But I do have to like manually correct it because it's
Mm.
like automatically set up to charge more. So
Isn't
somebody
that
has to be very
interesting?
intentional about changing it. Yeah.
That's very interesting to know. And I'm very glad that like you put out that to your customers so that they know that in case they find an issue with their plus sizes, go straight to the source. The Che Monique is on your side. She's in your court. She's on your team. She will help you. I have
Hopefully, from
had
now, this won't be the story. But currently, if you email shop at, or info at societyoffatmermaids.com, it goes directly to me. Now, if we have this conversation a year from now and we're talking about my 2023 calendar, hopefully at that point, ask me, like, are you still answering all your shop inquiries? I hope the answer is
oh,
no, but it's a
I'm
goal.
gonna
Hey, but
I'm gonna write
currently,
that down. I'll be like interview questions for Che Monique for the end of 2022. Because you have no idea how honored I feel that not only did you say yes to coming in here and talking to me, but you actually stayed and talked to me for an hour. Like I'm really, I, I honestly can't believe it, and I'm a little bit starstruck because little old Canadian mermaid me over here in the Great White North. I can't believe it. Maybe you don't know. Maybe you don't know the unbelievable influence that you have on the mermaid community from an outside mer looking at you. Like maybe you just don't know how like goddess you are and how like we all like just fangirl over Che Monique all the time. But I'm gonna tell you. See, you're giving me face. You don't know. I'm telling you. We worship the Che Monique. We love the Che Monique. We love the message. We love the body positivity. We love everything about you and what you're doing and your message and your shop. And I just thank you so much for coming in here and talking to me. I was so excited to meet you.
thank you. Thank you. This was a lot of fun. Thank you for hosting me. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you everybody who watched. I'm new to like live streaming, so was not rocking it out with like reading and answering questions, but like I definitely
Mm,
saw y'all popping on and saw y'all commenting, and I super, super appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please buy someone special my calendar. It will make my
yes,
day.
please.
Um,
Yes, please. And her friend makes those earrings. So go and support those earrings. Like just
yeah.
it's a female owned business. It's a body positive. Just go do your shopping at small businesses this year because it's really important and it's appreciated, and be mindful that shipping is going to take forever and it's not her fault.
We're all out here doing our best.
Yeah. But thank you so much for joining me this evening, Che Monique. And I will definitely be like tagging you in really funny screenshots because I think between you and I and our facial expressions, we've got some really funny screenshots going on here, and I'm kind of living for it. So be mindful
Now
of
I'm
that.
just
I'm
like
gonna put
making
them up.
ridiculous faces just to be funny. Like,
Yeah,
people
exactly.
just think I'm
Oh.
oh, that's the best thing. And then I'll get off. The very last page of the calendar for 2022 just has like random kind of like shell phone pictures that like aren't nice enough to like put as like a main calendar picture, but some of them are just like here's me and my birthday cake, and like just yeah, like that type. So that's like a fun little treat that's part of the calendar. All
Oh my
right.
God, you're so cute. You're so good to your followers. Love you. Bye, fishy.
Bye.